In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about branding. Some people don't do it very well. And so I thought I'd come out with this video, explain a little bit about what it means to brand yourself on Twitch. Here we go. Okay. We are going to talk a little bit about branding your Twitch channel. Okay. What to look for when you brand your Twitch channel is your brand identity. There it is. Brand identity. So brand identity consists of a couple things. One, your name. What name are you gonna go by? A lot of people have a little gamer tag and they kind of go through that and they're like, oh yeah, I'll use this gamer tag because that's what I'm best known by. But you know, sometimes it'll be yellow 921. It's up to that degree. That's a bad username. Okay, if you're trying to make it as a Twitch streamer or any content creator anywhere, that's a bad username. Okay, do not, if you can avoid it, put numbers into your username. Okay, I need to repeat that. Do not put numbers in your username. Okay, yellow 421. Okay, do not put that in. So pick a name. It can be a different spelling of a name. Sometimes that's a catch. If you can't find any because obviously when you're trying to find a name, you're trying to find one that's on Twitch, right? First, and then also for brand consistency across the board, you want to get all the social channels as well with the same exact name. So people can just say easily, oh yeah, I know where your Twitter is because it's the exact same name as your Twitch. I've seen a lot of streamers that are just like, their Twitch is one username, their Twitter is another complete username, and it has a little bit to do with their Twitch, but some don't, and that's insane. It's like, how are people supposed to get that feeling of consistency in your stream if they do that? Don't do that. So as your brand identity, you got your username, right? Understand your username is going to be basically the biggest thing, the first thing that anybody's ever going to see when they see your content. To make it a good one. Yellow 421. Next big thing, part of your brand identity, is your logo. So your logo should define really who you are. But you know, sometimes it could be as simple. You don't want to go look crazy extravagant, right? You don't want too much stuff in your logo. You want it to be pretty basic, simple. Somebody can look at it, say that's a pretty cool logo, but hey, it's also, I understand it, where it's coming from, and you know, that's fine. You know, you just want some sort of, you want it to be clean, you want it to be simple, you want it to be easily recognizable, and so make sure to put colors in it. That's the other part of this brand identity, is colors. So colors. So what the colors say is, colors do actually say a lot. I'll put a image here in a second and show you how. But there's a lot of colors that define kind of different brands, and in different brands all over the world. These brands are kind of want to convey a certain message, right? There's and they've done studies like this, like psychology studies, saying like people will show people different colors and they'll tell them how they feel after they've seen the different colors, and that's kind of where they come up with this sort of thing. Yeah, red's kind of equation of passion, love, and anger. You know, the heart, right? The standard heart with the red. Orange kind of means, you know, energy, happiness, vitality. It's very bright, right? So it's very uppity. Yellow also kind of have to do with happiness. Yellow brick road, right? Like hope, deceit. It's like the hope of what, you know. It also could be deceitful as well. Green is kind of new beginnings, like spring. When you think of green, you think of spring, right? Everything coming green, coming in new, abundance. It also has very implication with nature, green peas, stuff like that, right? Blue is more calm. You think of like a river or water running. It's also also known for sadness, right? You're feeling a little blue, responsible. Purple, creativity, royalty, wealth. What does that sound like? It sounds like Twitch, baby. Twitch wants to think that they're all about creativity, right? They probably don't want wealth, but they're actually pretty close to that in that regard. So there's a lot of means for a lot of different colors. So you want to kind of pick one or two colors that kind of go well together. Like I said, I'm going to also put a link down below saying it's going to tell you a little bit about what colors go together and why they go together. And you can kind of pick your color palette And then you can say, hey, these are the kind of colors I want to your logo creator, author. If you're going to do it yourself, do it yourself. But use these colors to kind of figure out and match and mirror your personality. It would be very beneficial for you to do this because, like I said, this is all actually really psychologically studied that these actually makes you feel these different feelings for these different colors. And the third part of this brand identity is consistency. You want the consistency across the board. You want to pick these colors and you want to find the specific exact color hex code that you want for the color, and you want to keep that in mind, put it down somewhere, write it down and keep it and use that wherever you can. So if you're writing a little, you're making an image in Photoshop about, your next stream, you want to use those color palettes and you want to use those exact color because you want to be consistent across the board. When corporations create a logo, they create what's called a style guide, and they make sure that every piece of literature, anytime their logo is used on a website, that it is following that style guide. And you gotta kind of feel the same, because that consistency, if you say, oh, that's a different shade of color, that's kind of weird, and you'll notice it like all the time when someone changes their logo to a different color or a different, actually like full-on logo, they change it. Like, you notice, like if you're a participant of that company, you notice, and they notice you notice. And so that's what you got to do. You got to make sure that everything is consistent with everything you do. So put it in your panels, put it on your overlays, your streams, anything you do. So that after your brand identity, there is one big thing that people don't do that need to, and that is to create your point of difference. POD is what we like to call it. Point of difference is what makes you different than any other streamer out there, any other content creator. What is your niche? What is the thing that defines who you are and that makes it different? Okay. And so makes you different, makes you stand out from the crowd. And you need to stand out because there's 1 million broadcasters on the channel on Twitch right now. More than 1 million broadcasters. I mean, that's an insane number when it compared to 1 million to 1. But you can stand out. There is ways to make you stand out. But you got to find out what that is. You got to find out what are people missing? What are people passionate about? What are people following? What are the trends that they're following? What are they looking at? Like, you need to go be a social media researcher and kind of look at, like, what are people trying to find out? What kind of content are people craving but they don't get? And you'll know, because people will say, people will tell you. You ask the simple question, what would you like to watch? What, and they'll tell you, like, oh yeah, I would love to watch this. I'm missing, nobody plays this game that's really good at streaming. I mean, there's some people that play it, but I mean, like, they're just horrible interactive people. They don't interact with their chat, stuff like that. It's you got to find out what you're missing and kind of fit your brand into that. So make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you know what the difference is between you and other people trying something, and if it doesn't work, then change up. That's cool. It happens. People change all the time. People rebrand all the time. It's not that big a deal. Once you figure out who you are and what you stand for, you want to figure out who else wants to watch you. But usually you kind of group up with people you like, or people that share your same interests, right? So it's kind of figuring out who you are and what you aren't, and what you like to do, and what your audience would understand from that and take from that and want to watch you for that. So you want to figure out, like, what is your audience going to watch you for? Are you got a great personality? You funny? You have some sort of niche that's entirely not served in the current market, right? Usually the 3 big things is skill, interactivity, and showmanship. So someone that puts on a great show would actually do pretty well on Twitch, because I mean that's the platform, is to put on a show for everybody, right? But there's lots of people that are skilled. People don't interact with chat at all, just pro esports streamers. They have their fame because they won that Fortnite tournament, or they're in OWL in the Overwatch League or something like that, but they don't interact with chat like at all. They just glance over because they're too focused on the competitive side. And so that's kind of the competitive side streamer, right? And that's fine. That does good for them. But like I said, if you're a competitive streamer and you're trying to break into Fortnite or Apex or COD, there's a lot of people in front of you. I mean, a ton that are really, really highly skilled. So you better be absolute God mode person for that game if you want any traction without the other two, interactivity and the showmanship. But if you have all three, the trifecta, you can actually get pretty far. You have that showmanship. If you have the interactivity and you have the skill, that is a perfect trifecta and will get you pretty dang far in Twitch really fast. The best streamer I could kind of come up with that trifecta is DrDisrespect. He has the personality, he has the showmanship. Obviously, if you ever watched him, he's hilarious sometimes. But he's always got that personality on show 24/7. Whatever you're watching him, he's in that mode. He's in the game, and he's also pretty dang good at the FPSs he plays too. And he shows it. He tells it to the audience too, and he does interact with chat quite a bit. He makes sure. A lot of streamers use talk to text to speech for their donations and stuff like that, but for him, he actually reads every single donation, which is pretty cool. So he does have that interactivity. So he has all three of those, and it works really well for him. So you got to figure out who you're targeting. People I know where my people are, like Facebook. Like people with social media, like we're all in Facebook and Instagram is kind of our millennial social networks, right? Us for TikTok, we're kind of not there yet, okay? Even though some people try to be, but I mean, you just have to go and figure out where your audience is and go find them, and then produce content that they'll like and show it to them in the places that they are. It's really that simple, but a lot of people don't think that. A lot of people think that some magic person is just going to be watching Twitter and they'll all come across this person they don't follow, they've never seen before. They'll come across this video of this guy or a link saying, hey, come chat with me in Twitch today. It's great. I'm going live now. Please come chat. And it's like, I have a person who comes along and sees that tweet has no incentive, absolutely none, to click on your link. Maybe if you were a friend or something, like maybe the mild curiosity, but even then, that's why majority of the streamers on the platform are 0 to 1 viewers, is because of that specifically. Going live links are another video I'm gonna go talk about, but yeah, so you want to find your audience, figure out where they are, put that content that they would like and put it in the place that they are. It's simple. Sounds pretty simple, right? 99% of people won't do it. And 99% of people don't do it. That's why Twitch has a discoverability problem, because no one knows how to find a Twitch streamer by what they like, what they do. And that's part of Twitch's fault. That's part of streamer platforms in general. Live streaming is hard for discovery because you can't usually use keywords to describe a stream. Streams are a lot more sporadic than a well thought out edited YouTube video on a certain topic. Those are searchable, but Twitch streamers aren't really searchable. People have tried and failed many times. So find your audience. Figure out where that audience spends most of their days and drive them to Twitch through your content and stuff they would actually find value in. And next we're going to talk about partnerships. So it would make no sense. I don't care if it actually happened. I probably would do that, but because she's a cool girl. Taylor Swift. I would not do a collab with Taylor Swift. There is no reason she should want to do a collab with me. We are two entirely different people with two entirely different music tastes. with tons of different, personalities and interests. So you don't partner with Taylor Swift is probably no. You need to partner with somebody that makes sense, right? I should be talking to tech YouTubers. I should be talking to people who like building PCs. I should be talking to people who share the love of the technology of content creation, right? I should not be talking to Pokemon. I should not be talking to Ninja. I mean, we're just not. I'm not a hype guy. I mean, I hype other people definitely, but hype myself, no. It's just not me. You need to find a partnership and streamers that you like, that reflect your ideals, that reflect your values, that reflect your interests, and help them as much as possible. These can be, I mean, you want to partner with people with your kind of level of influence is what I would call it, right? People that are kind of have the same amount of followers you do, kind of have the same amount of influence that you do, social media followers, whatever. And by doing that, you kind of can each lift each other up in that regard and share your community, because you should both share the same interests. Most obviously, your community probably is going to have the same sort of thing. So same sort of interests as well. But this is a hack. Okay, this is a life hack that you like, that actually do have a lot of influence, and you want to use them. That sounds bad. You want to help them for free as much as possible until they kind of give it back to you, right? So if I'm a popular streamer, right, and which I'm not by any means, you want to get in that guy's community. You want to become his mod. You want to help him out as much as possible. So, I mean, you can see what streamers' kind of pet peeves are, and as you watch the streamers and whatever. But one of the biggest things that streamers have told kind of everybody is that if you take the responsibility of something, being a streamer is hard. You have to be tech support, you have to be the showman, you have to be the planner, you have to be the financier, you have to be a lot of stuff. If moddage and chat and stuff like that. If you can take and kind of place yourself in any one of those spots and help the streamer out, they will be forever grateful. It's amazing, like how easy it is to get on a good side of a streamer, right? By doing that. No, putting your Twitch link in his channel is not, or his or her channel is not the best way. Just being a part of their community, helping their community thrive, help keep their chat going. We all know what it's like as small streamers and stuff like that, to know when chat's not going anywhere, right? Well, it happens to big streamers too sometimes, right? If you can help simply by just asking questions and keeping that chat going, they'll love you forever, dude. They'll mod you in no time. Promise. That's a promise. Just do what you can to help them out. And they'll pay you back for it eventually with views and hosts and all sorts of the stuff. And maybe you'll blow up. It's actually pretty simple. You just target the people you want to be nice to and be nice to them. Help them out, and they'll definitely help you. But like I said, choose those partners that are going to help you, that share the same community anyways. If you kind of go in, if one person shares your community with you and they're kind of not interested in the interest that you are, they'll just forget about you. It's almost instantaneously. There's so many people to watch. If someone throws you a host and all of a sudden, and you'll find this, sometimes you get a big host and nobody sticks around. It's just instantly gone. And that, you only have like 10 seconds to kind of fill in that community and make them feel good and make them feel valued and make them feel that they should keep watching you. Otherwise, they'll just instantly go after that raid or after that host. They'll just instantly gone, and that's why you see those numbers drop pretty dramatically. And it's fine. You'll get better at it as you do it, but that's one of the big reasons. Patience is a big thing. That's one of my moats in my channel, is patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither was most of these social media icons that and follow and love. you know, people have been making videos, you know, Mr. Beast has been making videos forever, and he just got good at it. And it's basically, you just got to kind of be patient with yourself. And I'm a problem with this too. You know, I don't like being patient. Nobody does, but you just kind of got to look in your side and figure out like what's your goals. Set your goals and just meet them with patience. Now, don't put goals saying I'm going to get 2,500 subs next week. It's not going to work. You know, unless by some bolt of lightning, it's not going to work. Okay. So make sure you're trying and being patient with your dev. Try something. If it doesn't work after a little while, fix it, adjust it, try it again. Doesn't work after a while, try it again. Eventually you're going to stick into a slot that you're like, hey, this actually feels really good. This actually feels kind of me. And I actually really enjoy this. And I actually kind of keep liking this. For me, like I said, that's tech. That's helping people out. That's helping people figure out their dreams and how to solve problems that they come across and, you know, motivate and hype them up. That's kind of my thing. But what's your thing, right? Is your thing cosplay? Is your thing game design? Is your thing being the battle royale champion of every battle royale that comes out? Just figure out what you want to do and then follow it and then adjust. But do something, you know? Patience is not doing nothing. Patience is doing something all the time, being consistent with it and continuing on, but being patient while you do it. I'll put a link down into the article that goes over all of this stuff with the branding and the text and everything. But thanks for watching. Please come join me on Twitch, twitch.tv/drtechmd. Link down below. I'll answer any questions you got. I'm cool with that. Until next time. I'm not going to say like and subscribe and hit the notification bell because I hate it. It's like cringe-worthy every single time. Hit the like button, smash it with your face. But I would really like you to subscribe to this channel, so please do that.